Hello students, welcome to the lecture 5 session on LR parsers. I hope you are staying safe and healthy and also doing well in your studies. Well, in the last lecture we discussed about the construction of CLR parsing table and we took up this example. This I have just included in the video just to recall what we had done in the last lecture. So we considered this example and we will consider this example again in this video lecture also. Well, we had already done in the previous lectures, we have done construction of SLR parsing table and construction of CLR parsing table. Now we are left with the third category of parsing table, that is LALR parsing. So first of all we will try to understand what is LALR parsing. As the name suggests, as you can see in the first point, just a minute. As you can see in the first point, LALR stands for look ahead LR. Well, this parser has the size advantage of a SLR parser, as the tables obtained by it are considerably smaller than the canonical LR tables. Now, one comparison is given with the SLR as well as with the CLR. It is saying that LALR has the size advantage of SLR parser. Now, if I compare SLR parser and CLR parser, what we have done in the previous lectures, we'll observe that SLR parser has lesser number of items in comparison to CLR parser. It is because SLR parser does not have the look ahead symbol, but CLR parser has the look ahead symbol, and because it has the look ahead symbol, so number of items thereby increases if we consider the same example for constructing the parsing table using SLR as well as CLR. Well, in LALR it is saying that the number of items that is created in SLR, in LALR also we will have the same number of items. Also it is saying that the advantage that we have in CLR of the look ahead symbol, here also we will have the same advantage of look ahead symbol. So in totality, if I say LALR has both the abilities of SLR as well as CLR. Of SLR it has the size advantage, that means number of items of SLR and LALR will be same. As you can see in the last point, the number of states of SLR and LALR parsing tables are always the same. And if I compare it with CLR, you can see in the third point, it has the look ahead capability like a CLR parser. So LALR is combination of both SLR as well as CLR. Okay. Now in the next slide, we see now, but to find the LALR states, what we have to do, we have to first find CLR states or items. Okay. So whatever we did in the last lecture, in the lecture 4 on LR parsers, the construction of lecture 3 and lecture 4 rather, the construction of LR1 items, we have to proceed in the same manner whenever we are given to construct LALR parsing table. First of all, what we will have to do, we will have to construct the LR1 parsing table, and prior to that what we have to do, we have to construct LR1 items. That is what is said here in the first point, that we can find the LALR states by merging CLR states that have the same set of first components. So now if you recall a little bit, we found, I will take you to that example also, but meanwhile we will try to understand that in CLR when we were doing, we had two components, the first component, the second component. The first component was your items, okay, and the second component was your look ahead symbol. We found in several item set that the first component was same, like for example I3 and I5 had same first set of components, but different set of second component. Like in first set, if it is S to CC dot, in the second component if it is dollar, in other we found S to CC dot, and second component is C or D. So first component remains same and second component was different. So what do we do in LALR? We try to combine this first component together. We make the union of this. That is what is said in the, we merge. That is what is said in the first point. Now second point says, more generally we can look for sets of LR1 items having the same core. First component is said to be core, second component is said to be core. So we will try to find the components having same core, that is set of first components, and we may merge these sets with common cores into one sets of items. So looking into the first component, if they are same, we will try to combine it or merge it into one set of components. Okay. Now while doing this, there is one note is written. While doing this, there can be a conflict. Okay. But here it is saying that the merging of states with common cores can never produce a shift or reduce conflict. Why? Because that was not present in one of the original states, because shift actions depend only on the core, not on the look ahead. Because since there are two components, the shift action was dependent only on the first component. Okay, it was not dependent on the second component. So there will be no conflict as far as merging of states is concerned. Okay. Just one. Okay. So now we will look into the algorithm. To in a simple manner, if I say the conclusion of this algorithm, it is very simple. First of all, what we will do, we will proceed in the same manner as we did for SLR and CLR. What we will do, the given grammar, we first try to create the augmented grammar. Then we try to create the transition diagram as we did in CLR. So here what we have to do, forget about SLR. Whatever we did for CLR, we'll do it first. Okay, we'll try to create the augmented grammar, then we'll number the productions, then we'll create the transition diagram of LR1 items. Okay, and then we'll create the LR1 parsing table, that is CLR parsing table. After that, now from point number 2, point number 1 is said whatever I spoke about right now. Point number 2, it is saying that now what we will do for making LALR, we will try to find the same component, same core in the first set of components. Okay, if we find all such kind of sets, we will try to merge it. That is what it is saying in second point. For each core present among the sets of LR1 items, it is saying, so we are talking about CLR. Okay, find all sets having that core and replace these sets by their union. We have to do the union part. Okay, so while doing union, what we will do, we will create new set of items. That is why if you see in the first point, it was I0, I1, I10, and in third point we find it as J0, J1, Z2 and so on. Okay, so you can see it over here. It is written C dash equal to J0, J1 dot up to Jm be the resulting sets of LR1 items. How this has been obtained? By the union of the first component. Okay, so first and second component. The parsing actions for state I are constructed from Ji in the same manner as CLR parsing algorithm. So whatever we did in CLR, we will try to do it over here also. Now if there is parsing action conflict, so obviously it will be the algorithm will fail to produce a parser and the grammar is said not to be LR. So whenever there will be a conflict, we cannot say that it is LALR1. Okay. Now in goto table also we will do the same thing. We will try to merge. That is what it is said. If J is the union of one or more sets of LR1 items, that is J equal to I1 union I2 union up to IK, then the cores of go to I1x, go to I2x, dot go to ikx are the same, since I1 I2 dot ik all have the same core. So in that case what we will do, we will do the union. As you can see in the second point, let k be the union of all sets of items having the same core as go to I1 x, and finally go to j of x will be j comma x equal to k. So we consider the same grammar which we used for constructing CLR parsing table, because since beginning of this lecture I have been saying that in constructing the LALR parsing table we have to first construct CLR parsing table, because from there only we will try to derive and we will try to merge the states or the items, whatever you say. So we take the same grammar, and what we do, we construct LALR parsing table for this grammar. The very first thing what we do, we try to create an augmented grammar. We just include the first production, we know how to do this. Then we do the numbering of the productions. We leave that particular production as S to S, and rest of them is numbered. Then we create the transition diagram of which items? LR1 items. This is very important for you to know that we are not doing new thing, but while making LALR parsing table we should know how to create the LR1 items, the transition diagram we have to make. So we have considered the same transition diagram which we did in the last lecture, so I am not discussing about this. And then in the next slide we observe that we have created the same CLR table as we did in the last lecture. So till here whatever example is given to you, you are supposed to do till here in the same manner as you do for constructing CLR parsing table. No change will be there. First of all, you will have to create an augmented grammar, then you have to number the productions, then draw the transition diagram, and then create the CLR table. Do mention that you are creating CLR table. Okay. Now, after doing all this, now here comes your part for LALR. What do we do? The very first thing what it is saying, we consider the sets of LR1 items of this grammar. LR1 items, from where do we get? From the CLR grammar or parsing, whatever you say. Then what we do, we can find the LALR states by merging, this is very important, by merging CLR states that have the same set of first components. So wherever we will find the first component same, we will try to merge those states into one category. Okay. Now, if I consider this previous example, the example that we have considered, we find that there are three pairs of sets of items that can be merged. I will take you back to that diagram. You will see what it is saying. Now see, just a minute. Yes. Now, if you observe I3 and I6 block, just to see I3 and I6. Just I am reading one of them, C to C dot C, comma C by D, and here also you have C to C dot C, comma dollar. So the first component is C to C dot C. This is same, sorry, capital C. This is same in both I3 as well as I6. Okay, so what we will do? We will combine these two states I3 and I6 into one, and it will be written as I36, and item will be written, this I36 item will have, how it will be written? C2, I am writing it again. For I36, what we will do, we will write C to C dot C, comma, for I3 what we had in the second component C by D, and in I6 we had second component as dollar. So all three will be combined together, and this will be the first item in I36. Similarly, we will have second item. Second item will be C2 dot CC, and second component is same. And the third item will be C2 dot D. You can observe in I3 as well as in I6, these three first components are same. Okay, and in the this one will be same, C by D or dollar. Okay, so this way we combine this. So I3 and I6 we found as I3 and I6 we found as two sets of items which can be merged into one, and it can be written as I36, whereby we combine the first set of component and second set of component is written as union. Similarly, we observe I4 and I7. Here also we find that the first component is, here also we observe that the first component is same and second component is different. So what we do? We combine I4 and I7 into one, we make it I47, and we write C2 D dot, and the second component is merged into one, C by D by dollar. Similarly, we observe I8 and I9. The first component is same and we combine into two, I8 9, and we write C2 CC dot comma the same thing, C by D by dollar. So what do we found? We found that we are able to merge three states into three different states into one. Okay, so I3 and I6 are merged into I36, I4 and I7 are merged into I47, and I8 and I9 are merged into I89. And how these mergings are possible? These mergings are possible because of the first component of I3 and I6 being same, I4 and I7 being same, I8 and I9 being same. Only the second component is different. For that, what we do? We do the union of these second components. As you can see in the in I3 or I4 or I8, if we observe the first component, second component element was C by D, and I6 second component was dollar, so we combine it as C by D by dollar. So this is what is said over there. Here in the third point it is said that there are three pairs of sets of items that can be merged, and we will observe this. We will observe this in the next slide. Whatever I spoke about, it is written over here. Whatever I did the calculation. See, you have I3, I6, I4 and I7, and I8 and I9. You can observe the first and second component, if you can recall whatever we did. Okay, so this is how we merge. In our example, we have only these three sets of items which can be merged together. So when you do this merging, what will happen? There will be change in your parsing table. Okay, you will not create any new transition diagram for it. Okay, and nothing you will have to do. You will have to just depict in writing whatever is there, like you have to explain it as I have explained over here. In the original set of LR1 items, what we do? Go to I3 comma C is equal to I8, and I8 is now part of I89, so we may go to I36 comma C to be I89. Okay, similarly we have go to I36 C equal to I89, and thus we consider the LALR action and go to functions for the considered sets of items as shown in the table. Now we will see what we will do in the table. See, before this, now here you see in the 0th row you observe 36 and 47, S36 and S47. I take you back to the CLR parsing table. Now see here, which set of items are combined? I3 and I6. So action was performed based on this I3 and I6. So shift will be done is, if I3 and I6 are combined, it becomes I36. So shift S3 will become S36. Even S6 will also become S36. Okay. Similarly, S4 will become S47, S7 will become S47, S8 will become S89, S9 will become S89. Why? Because these two item sets are merged together. So if you observe in this particular table, in the 0th row, you have got S3 and S4 written under C and D column. But since S3 is derived from I3, but now I3 is merged as I36, so S3 will be written as S36. Similarly, S4 has been obtained from I4, but now it has become I47, it will be written as S47. And it will be done everywhere. But you have to remember that 3 and 6 are merged, so one row will be kept intact and the other will be removed. Okay. So I will keep intact 3 and I will remove 6, and in place of 3 I will write 36. Similarly, 4 and 7 will be removed and 4 will be written, and you observe that in 7 you have got R3 over here in the dollar column. So in 4 it will be written as R3 in dollar column and 4 will become as 47. Similarly, I8 and 9 I will remove 9th row and I will write I8 9, and this R2 of 9 will be placed in dollar of R8 9 as R2. So these are some changes that we will do. We will see these changes in the table. So you just observe over here, the very first 0th row has now S36 S47. Okay, there was no change in 1th row. In the 2nd row, what I spoke about third and 6th, that is combined over here. You can see S36. You can see over here 36 is written as S36 S47. The 6th row has been removed. Similarly, 4 and 7 has been combined. 4 and 7, you can see the under C and D only was written in 4, and under dollar it was written in 7th row. So that has been combined and here it is written together. Okay. Similarly, in 8 9 also, if you observe, 8th and 9th row has been merged together and it is written as 8 9. In 8th row only these two entries were there under C and D, and in 9th we had R2. So these two has been combined together. So similarly, you can see for 2nd also. 2nd, here it is written S36 S47. We will see. We will once again compare. We will go back to that particular table, and we observe that in the 2th row it was written as S6 S7. Okay. So now we don't have S6. We don't have S6. We have S36. So in place of S6 it is written as S36. In place of S7 it is written as S47. Now when we are combining 3 and 6 row, in GoTo table we observed that under C column we have 8 and 9 written. So what will happen? 8 and 9 has been merged together. We have observed this, 8 and 9 has been merged. So in 3 6th row, what it will be written as, under C column it will be written as 8 9. Rest of them will have no changes, and this 6th row will be removed from the LALR parsing table. We will see this into the table. See, here you can observe that it is written under S3 6th row. You can see in the GoTo column it is written as 8 9. Okay. So this is how we do the merging. I have explained all the merging, and we observed that there is no conflict. Okay. Do remember about this merging R3 and R2 in 4 7 row and 8 9. This was not initially present in 4th and 8th row. 4th row and 8th row, it was present in 7th and 9th row respectively. But since it has been merged together, so it is now written in 4 7 row under dollar column. So I hope it was clear to you how we had created this LALR parsing table. So with this we complete this construction of parsing tables of all the three categories: SLR, CLR as well as LALR. In LALR, Now if I compare it with the CLR, in CLR we had 0 to 9, that is 10 sets, 10 states were there, and here how many states are there? We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have only 7 states in comparison to 10 states. So if we find SLR parsing table of this given grammar, I will suggest you to find the SLR parsing table for this grammar. There you will find only 7 states are created. You can make SLR parsing table for this grammar. And CLR we have already done, we found 10. And LALR we found again 7. So here you will find the combination with SLR, that 7 states SLR also has, 7 states LALR also has. And with CLR what do we find? We find the component, the look ahead symbol and the component being used from the CLR table. So this is where we complete this. In the next lecture I will take up the example part and we'll take up one string and we'll try to process that string. We'll try to process that string using this. So thank you for now. Thank you everyone.